What's up, guys? I hope y'all are doing good. I hope y'all are doing great. And I hope y'all are making money trading. I just wanted to come on here and explain or give a breakdown of a silver trade that I took last week on Friday. Entered the trade on Friday, as you can see here. And I held the trade all throughout the weekend. I hit TP, market open Monday morning. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a breakdown and show you why I entered this trade, where I set my take profit, and where I had put my stop loss. Now, for everybody that's new here, I trade ICC, which is indication, correction, and continuation, right? And ICC is mainly based off market structure. So if we start from this point, silver was building up where we have a high, we have a low. We have a higher high, we have a higher low. Then we got to this point, we broke structure to the upside, creating a higher high. But once it got to this point, sellers kicked in with massive force and then dropped the price to the downside. And if you understand market structure, for everybody that doesn't understand market structure, I have a video on market structure on my channel that's uploaded on my channel. If you struggle with market structure, watch that video and you'll understand what I mean. So when it comes to market structure, if we were truly in an uptrend, the market was not supposed to break this high that it created, right? Because we have a higher high, a higher low. A higher high, a higher low. This higher low was supposed to be respected if we were in an uptrend. But when it got to this point, sellers kicked in hard and they ended up breaking this higher low. So this gives us an indication that buys might be off the table. We broke to the downside, ended up breaking this low, creating a lower low. Market came here, it started struggling a bit, struggled for a little bit, ended up breaking to the upside, got to up here and lost momentum. This is considered a lower high. So we have a break of structure to the downside, right? Giving us a lower low. Price struggled up here, broke to the upside, but still created a lower high. So I decided to not take a trade over here and decided to just watch the markets and see how it was going to react from this level. So when price ended up dropping and got back to this level, this is a level of buyers, right? Because we have buying reactions every time price got to this level. Once it dropped, got here, we had a buying reaction. It consolidated, got back to this black line, we had a buying reaction. So this is a strong level of buyers. So price ended up getting back to this level and then got a small push from the buyers. And then when it ended up breaking below this line, it ended up giving me an indication. But then price ended up selling so hard, it ended up also breaking this higher low. So now we have one indication to the downside right here and another indication to the downside right here, which confirmed that I was looking for sales, right? So we have price right here. Market came up, created a lower high, came back down. Instead of creating a lower low, it created a higher low, which then ended up breaking structure right here, creating a higher high and then creating a higher low. Then it ended up also breaking structure to the upside, created a higher high and then broke structure to the downside. So we got a new lower low. Price ended up consolidating right here, but then gave us a lower high. Why is this a lower high? It's a lower high because it's lower than the previous high. I just needed an indication below this recent low and a correction. But when price ended up selling off heavy, it gave me another indication below this low. So now I know that since price ended up breaking this low, giving us another break of structure, anything below this black line was going to sell from here all the way to down here. Because now this is my indication and this is where the indication stopped. All I had to do is wait for a correction. And then when price got back below this black line, I entered sales all the way to where the indication stopped. If I go down to the 1 hour time frame, you're going to see this clearly. We have a break of structure right here to the downside, giving us an indication, which was a small indication. It corrected, and then when price got back below this black line, price ended up selling off heavy. I ended up getting another indication to the downside right here. This was on Thursday, so I knew this is my indication. Cool. I had to wait for a correction, which then price ended up correcting back above this black line. And remember what I said, anything below this black line would sell from here all the way to down here, right? So I had my indication. I have a correction. Price ended up correcting above the black line. But as you can see, it's not breaking any structure. So we have a lower high here. We have a lower high here. We have a lower high here, lower high right here. This gives me more confluence for me to enter a sell trade. And when price ended up coming back below this level, that was my indication to enter this trade. And I ended up entering this trade right around here. My stop loss was just above here, just to give the trade a bit of breathing room, right? And my take profit target was right here, because this is where my indication stopped. All right, so this is a clear ICC setup for you guys. We have an indication, we have a correction, and back below this line should be your entry. I should have entered right here, but this was out of session, 9 a.m. in the morning. I was still asleep. Cool. Price ended up coming back above the black line, and then when it got back below the black line, and this was New York session, I entered my trade. So this was my entry, this was my target, this was my stop loss. And as you can see, this is how it looked on my MT5. Once price ended up giving me a good push to the downside, I ended up shifting my stop loss from up here to down here. And then I let my trade run. So on Friday, market ended up closing right around here, just a few pips away from TP. But I did not close because I knew my trade was secure and I was already in profits. All I needed to do is wait for Monday, market open, and I knew my TP would be hit. So that's the trade breakdown. And that's how I made 4K on silver using ICC. This is literally the clearest ICC setup you'll ever see. And I hope I've explained it to you guys properly for you to understand and for you to begin seeing setups like this when you look at your charts and when you're trading. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.